Hello again YouTube and welcome back to Just Get a Tesla, and on this week's video I have to deal with the circus that is car insurance. Just how stupid and expensive can this possibly get? First of all, before we go anywhere else, this video is once again sponsored by Millibricks, which is my new business bringing military brick toys, Lego compatible toys to the UK market. So if you want to buy tanks or planes or Jeeps and things like that, cool Lego type kits, which you're going to have a whole load of fun building, then check out Millibricks. Put the code GET into our website and get 10% off. I wish I was getting 10% off my car insurance. So last year I did a video which talked about my first renewal on getting my Tesla's insurance done, and let's just say it didn't go well. Honestly, it's bad enough when your insurance quote goes up and up and up, but last year the quotes that I was getting were just completely insane. I mean, off the scale, please go away insane. They don't want to no quote you, and okay, I kind of respect that. But, 2,800 quid is absolute madness. So in the end, I took a renewal which was still more than 40% more than it had been. And that's despite adding one extra year of no claims bonus. A completely broken industry. And I know a load of people say, it's because you've got a Tesla and you've got an EV. It's not. It really isn't. Petrol and diesel are also absolutely skyrocketing, and more on that in a second with the broker that I've just got off the phone with. So I then had to increase the amount of insurance that I was taking out because my mileage had increased a little bit. So all in all, my current insurance premium for the year that's about to end is £1,294.43. Now, there's a couple of things which I think make that more expensive for me than it might be for other people. The job that I do is basically a consultancy and company director job, which is a few rungs higher than it might be if I was doing something else. It's seen as a higher risk. Plus also the fact that, how can I put this? My car is owned by my company, and my company is the registered keeper of the car, and that immediately takes out of contention quite a few insurance companies who quite simply can't be bothered to faff with it. But Ian, why don't you just get a business insurance policy? I can hear somebody saying, and I have looked at that. But here's the thing. Most insurers don't want to quote for a single vehicle when it's business. They think they should be quoting for fleets or small fleets or at least two cars. So quoting for one isn't something that they're particularly happy with. And the other issue, of course, is if the company is taking out the insurance, then your personal no claims bonus is disapplied because that's yours. It's not the company's. So the quotes that I get if I go through the company are completely off the scale bonkers, even if I wanted to do it that way. So we're back to basically having a personal paid insurance policy taken out by me as a person on a vehicle that's owned and registered to my company, which is perfectly legal and above board, but it does mean that I can keep my no claims bonus, but it restricts the number of insurers that I can go through. So last time around, I ended up where the renewal was the cheapest quote that I was getting. And it's the first rule of insurance: never, ever, ever, ever take the renewal. They're going to take you for a fool. In this case, no, it genuinely was cheaper than anything else that I was being offered, which is absolutely crazy. So 12 months on, the email comes through from my insurer saying it's renewal time and we're going to send you your quote. And you think, this isn't going to be pretty, is it? So I was waiting for the thing to come through, and actually it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Last year was more than 40% of an increase. This year was a 10% increase. So the quote that they were offering me was £1,426 £1,055.33. And then with a few tweaks that I needed to make to what was actually on there, that has now come out at £1,455.70. So in 2 years, we're going to have gone from just under 750 quid to just under 1,500 quid. It is going to have doubled in 2 years, and that is despite the fact that I've got 2 more years of no claims discount. It is absolute insanity, the UK car insurance market at the moment. And again, I'm still seeing articles out there talking about how regardless of the driver, regardless of the car, the prices are just going absolutely through the roof. Here then is the other interesting bit. I've just spoken to a broker because I thought there's got to be another way through this. Let's go into the independent channel and go and speak to a broker. So the broker took all of the details and came up with a package which actually on paper was pretty good. So from 1,294 quid on the current policy, I was being quoted 1,301. That sounds good. And the amount of excess that I would have to pay was also going to go down. That also sounds good. But, and it's a big but, he was pulling information scraped from one of the comparison sites, and the email address on it was an old one that I don't use for these things. And I thought, I want to sense check what information that you have got. So we went backwards and forwards, checking all the rest of it. And yes, I had to update my occupation and the industry that I work in, because obviously these days I've got quite a few business interests, including Millibricks and YouTube and all the rest of it. So I am a business consultant. That's what I do. I am a business consultant, primarily running a consultancy business of which I consult with other people's companies and my own companies. So I've updated that, and I've updated the fact that I've had to claim for a windscreen repair having had a really bad chip, and you'll see that video coming up in a few weeks' time. Not the repair, because no one cares about that, but the fact that I got a chip. So we've updated that, we've gone through all of the information, and he's come up basically with a quote which is £1,301. And I'm like, great, let's go and do that. But I want to see the detail. I want the line by line by line. What exactly are you giving me? Because he didn't seem entirely clear. So you give it me in writing and I'll literally sit it there on the screen next to my existing one and go, and just check that everything's there. No problem, sir. I'll email it to you now and I'll give you a call back in 15 minutes. Well, I don't receive the email and I don't receive the call back. Instead, I get a text message saying you need to ring us and here's your quote. So it's now an hour later. So I then basically ring back through and speak to somebody else, and we go through some of the same questions again. I this time really want to sense check where we're at with this thing. And where we get to is that we are looking at a £1,301 quote now costing £1,340. Now, okay, it's 39 quid, but I said, what exactly has happened between then and now on the same quote where the price has suddenly gone up by 40 quid? And he said, we've got a live server. So the insurance market basically has got a live quoting thing. So we're looking at this, and then he suddenly goes back and he goes, sorry, I just need to sense check this. Did you tell my colleague that you had a window claim? And I said, yes, I did. And he said, you don't need to declare that on this policy. And he's like, yeah, he got that wrong. With the underwriters on this one, you do need to declare it. And I said, okay, so here's the thing. Big question, guys. If you get a chip on your windscreen and you've got glass cover on your insurance, and your insurance says that the glass thing does not count towards claims or all of the rest of it, how then is it that when it comes to me doing an insurance quote, it does count as a claim, and everybody says that you have to declare that you've had an insurance claim for a stone chip, which they say isn't a claim? Now, for some of the people that I'm getting quotes for, including my existing insurer, it makes no difference whatsoever to the premium. For these guys, so I put through And remember, the first guy was badgering me desperately, wanting me to pay the money and to sign the contract for this insurance, right? Having said, you don't need to declare this. The second guy then says, you definitely do need to declare it. And had you not declared it, they would have invalidated their policy. Now, anyone out there want to know whether invalidating your insurance is a good thing or a bad thing? He then puts the new claim in for the windscreen, and it cost £20, okay? And my quote goes from £1,300 to £1,500. And even he's like, that doesn't make any sense at all. What's going on? And I said, okay, just hit the refresh button again. Effectively, I think with him, he has to go through and do a requote. So we're still talking on the phone. So he does another requote. And it comes back on and it's still £1,500. Right. So here's where I'm at. And again, let me know in the comments. First of all, I'm sorry I'm not giggling quite as inanely on this one as I was last year. But honestly, it's an absolute shambles. What on earth is going on? And what is this live pricing malarkey, right? So I'm now at a point where for the second year running, they are telling me that the cheapest insurance I can get for my car is to stay with my existing insurer, which is potty. Surely it can't be right that that's the cheapest, because that's never the cheapest, isn't it? My premium is going to have doubled in 2 years without me doing anything, and with adding more no claims bonus, and apparently that's supposed to be a good deal. I honestly don't know where this one goes, okay? I really don't. This isn't an EV thing, because the broker said to me, I asked him the question, is this just me? Is this just Tesla? Is this just the EV? And he said, oh no, sir, the price of everything has gone crazy. And I think the reason why they're using a live thing is to try and get the prices down on some of these things and get a better quote at times. But he said, it doesn't matter what car you've got. The whole industry is now charging significant percentages more than it was only a few months ago for the same thing. And if you've had a couple of years, and I was quoting him a couple of years, then you're really going to be able to feel it. I said, mine is going to have doubled in 2 years. And he said, that's normal. Now, I'm going to have people out there saying, well, mine hasn't. And someone saying, well, I've got a 15-year-old BMW and it's only costing this. Yes. I've got a 15-year-old Hyundai i30 petrol that costs buttons to insure because it's worth buttons. And it's also got, I think, about as much power output as the shirt that I'm wearing, right? So, of course, it's going to be cheaper. But on a like for like, on any kind of car that's got actual performance, horsepower, an engine that works, right, or batteries or anything else, I'm now being told by the broker that the price is going whee. So let me know in the comments. This is what appears to be an annual video now. Let's talk crazy with Ian's bonkers car insurance. And okay, I am maybe a slightly higher risk than you. Maybe, despite the grey hair, despite, having no convictions and no points on my license. And, the only claim that I had in the last 5 years was when somebody drove literally across the front of me and I collected them, and it was their fault, and their insurance company paid out everything and they confessed immediately. So I'm not really a risk, and I don't do 50,000 miles a year as I used to do. And I live in rural Scotland where I can literally leave the house unlocked by accident, and no one's going to go anywhere near the place. I am not in a risky territory, and yet the price has gone potty. So let me know in the comments where you guys are at. I'll be interested to hear your experiences on insurance, and have you tried one of these brokerage things? Because I've never seen anything like it where the price is just going boing, boing, boing. And on that miserable and feeling very poor note, I'll leave it there. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you back here very soon on Just Get a Tesla.